Hey guys, TOGS here, and this is the Dualshock 4 USB wireless adapter for PC. Well, horrendous name aside, this dongle is just a glorified Bluetooth dongle to connect your Dualshock 4 controller to your PC, or so they say on the internet. If you look at a lot of reviews, that's what they all have to say about this dongle. But is that really everything there's to it? So originally, this dongle was meant for Dualshock 4's compatibility with PS4 Remote Play. And if I take you a little bit back to what PS4 Remote Play is, essentially it's a way of connecting your PS4 to your PC, and you use your PC as a sort of external monitor for your Dualshock 4 controller. So that means you can take your Dualshock 4 controller, hook it up to a PC, and just game away. And the best thing about this dongle is that it enables you to use the headphone jack and the touchpad as well, which isn't possible when you use it as a micro USB cable to your PC. So the features are a little bit enhanced with the Dualshock 4 USB wireless adapter, but it comes at a price. I mean, this thing costs 20 bucks. Now with the introduction of Steam, the big picture mode has been expanded with more controller support, especially for the Dualshock 4 controller. And lucky for us, the Dualshock 4 USB wireless adapter works just fine. And that means you get the full functionality of everything that the Dualshock 4 controller has to have with wireless functionality. But all in all, is it worth to get yourself a $20 dongle from Sony instead of a Bluetooth dongle? So first off, let's look at what we have in the box here. So once we open the box, which is pretty standard, it's just cardboard, we open it up and we see the dongle itself and an instruction booklet, which we're not going to read because we hate instruction booklets here. Okay, so let's go over to how you connect this to the PC. So you plug it into your PC, you open Steam or PS4 Remote Play if that's your thing, but I can test this since I don't have a PS4 here. You press down on the dongle, that enables you to pair the controller using pairing mode. Now you have to press the share plus the PlayStation button on your controller and wait a couple of minutes. It will now synchronize the controller to your dongle, and there you go. Now it's connected. So now in theory, you could test it out with Steam. But does this work that well? And surprisingly, yeah, it does. It works pretty good actually. I just hooked it up. Steam already open, of course. I press the PlayStation button and Steam Big Picture mode shows up, which enables you to give your controller a specific name. In this case, I named mine Black is the New Black because, you know me, I like a lot black. You give your controller a fancy name and there you go. Pick the game you want to play and game away. Now the funny thing is that if you use Big Picture mode, you have the option to give your controller specific controller layouts for specific games. Like the Steam controller, you're able to adjust every button and every nook and cranny from the controller to your specific liking. So for example, if you are playing The Witcher 3 and you want this default Xbox layout but use the touchpad as a camera control, you can do that. But if you want to play the Rocket League and you want to use the cursor as a rotation tool for left and right, it's also possible. There are so many possibilities when you connect this to Steam that there is almost no explainable reason why you shouldn't use the Dualshock 4 controller instead of the Steam controller at the first place. Steam also said in a recent press conference that the Dualshock 4 controller and the Steam controller are really similar specs wise. So that means that not only me, but the rest of the world also sees in that this controller has some real potential for PC gaming. So of course, with using this, you get extra features like support for the headphone jack, which you can plug in. You can plug in any pair of headphones into your controller and then just hook it up to your PC. Game away. Audio in your headphones, it works perfectly. You have the accelerometer support, which is not supported by a lot of games on PC. Also, you get support for the touchpad, and this is really cool because you can use it as a mouse or as specific button layouts, as I said before, like in Rocket League where you can move your car around, or in The Witcher 3 which you can adjust your camera position. It's like a dedicated button that you can use for everything that you want to, but also use it as a mouse, which is just plain awesome. Now all of this is great. Believe me, I mean, at first it seems like this controller dongle is really worth your money. But remember, the Dualshock 4 controllers are compatible with Bluetooth. And that means that you can just hook up a Bluetooth USB dongle, pair them to your Bluetooth USB dongle and just game away the same way we do with this. The only problem with this is that you lose some functionality compared to when you're using the official Sony dongle. And that means that you lose the touchpad support, which can be enabled through a custom driver. I think it's called DS4 tools. The second major thing that you're losing is the headphone jack support, and that is really deal breaking for me because I use it a lot. I mean, if I sit on the other side of the room and I just want to game away without disturbing the rest of the people who are sleeping, I just hook up a headphone to my controller and I'm done. I'm golden. So the introduction of the headphone jack in the DualShock 4 controller is handy. That you can use it on PC is even better. But it's a bummer that you cannot use this with a Bluetooth USB dongle. You lose the accelerometer, you lose the headphone jack, and you lose support for the touchpad, which can be re-enabled, but only the touchpad. And it depends on whether you're using these features to really say if this dongle is really worth. Another thing you're losing, and this is a big point in my opinion, is the fact that you cannot do multiplayer with this stick. Sony implemented it in a way that you can only pair one controller at a time to give the maximum performance to that controller. And in my opinion, that's a weird move, because you have just spent 20 bucks on this stick. Then a friend comes over, wants to play with you, grabs his DualShock 4 controller, only to find that you can just pair one controller at a time with this thing. So he either has to buy one himself, or grab a micro USB cable, plug it into your PC, and then game with you. This is limiting, and not my type of experience that I want to enjoy from getting a $20 USB dongle. Not to say for certain that you can also pair up two DualShock 4 controllers with a normal Bluetooth USB stick. So in my opinion, that's a real downside for the DualShock 4 controller adapter. So conclusion time. Is it worth paying 20 bucks for a proprietary Sony Bluetooth dongle that you can only use with one controller at a time? In my opinion, this Bluetooth USB dongle is really worth your money if you're a single player and you want to game away with no additional setup required. Then of course go with this stick. However, Bluetooth dongles are really cheap right now, and if you're on the budget and you don't want to spend 20 bucks on something you can only use with the DualShock 4 controller, I'd say just get a Bluetooth USB dongle and just pair it to that and just use this normal controller. I mean, not all the features in the DualShock 4 controller that are being implemented are being used right now. So in most cases, you're golden with just a micro USB cable or a Bluetooth stick. But if you want to get the most out of your PS4 controller, I'd say get this stick. So I want to know what you guys think of this dongle. Is it worth the money? Is it worth your time? Definitely let me know in the comments down below, and subscribe to stay up with more content like this. Thanks for watching. This is TOGS, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.